Yeah, dear student, welcome back to the business study class. Our chapter going on chapter 7 and topic is leadership. Okay, so whenever we hear the success of any organization, we are immediately reminded of their leaders. Clear? Consider a situation or think about an organization like Microsoft without Bill Gates, Tata's without Ratan Tata, Reliance without Ambani's, or Infosys without Narayan Murthy. Clear? So these all are the success story of leadership in the organization. The leader always play a key role for the success and excellence of any organization. So let us understand the concept of leadership, its importance and qualities of a good leader. So leadership is the process of influencing people. Clear? Leadership is what? It is the process of influencing people. Is the process of influencing people. When you influence the people by thoughts, ideas, mind, what you are going to do? You are going to have a superficial control over that particular person. And what we do by influencing, we change their behavior. Clear? By influencing the people, we change their behavior. All of you have studied the freedom struggle of our country. How Mahatma Gandhi has fought with the Britishers without having any arm. By influencing the people, he controlled the behavior, and on his just one call, all 120 crore or whatever population was there, 20 crore people were on the road. So that was the power of Mahatma Gandhi, non-violence. Okay? By just single call, 20 crore people are on the road and they are revolting against the Britishers. So that was his power, and from that power he fought against the Britishers who are having modern arms of ammunition of that time. So leadership is the process of influencing the people, and by influencing the people, we change their behavior and we control their mind, and they controlled by a leader. So this is the way of influencing the people. So leadership is the process of influencing people by making them strive voluntarily toward the achievement of organizational goals. When your leadership is for the welfare of an organization, it is called organization. When you are working for the welfare of the country like a great political leader, your objective would be the betterment of the country. Okay? So leadership indicates the ability of an individual to maintain good interpersonal relation with the follower. That is the most important thing. A very nice interpersonal relations with your followers. This is the most important thing for leadership. You should have a very high quality of interpersonal relation with your followers and motivate them to contribute for achieving the organizational goals. So this all is a mental game. So it's a process of influencing the people. Just now I gave you an example of Mahatma Gandhi, how he influenced the Indians and controlled their mind and behavior, and on a just one call, 20 crore people were come on the road to fight or to revolt against the Britishers. So this was his power, and from this power he revolted against the Britishers. Now we are going to study the features. First, it is the ability. It is the ability of an individual to control or to influence other. Clear? It is the ability of a person to control and to influence other. Clear? Tries to bring change in their behavior. When a person is influenced, he will follow you, and in this way you can change their behavior because they are now mentally under your control. Clear? At the same time, you have to maintain a very high degree of interpersonal relation. interpersonal relation with your employees, sorry, or your followers. Okay? And it is exercise to have a control over common goals. Now goals may be your organizational goals. When you are working as a political leader for the welfare of the country, then will be your, it will be your, or would be your patriotic goals. Okay? And leadership is it's a continuous process. That is why it is a very responsible name. Everybody can't be a leader. Leaders are not produced, they are always born. So individual possessing attributes of a leadership is known as leader. While discussing about the leadership, it is important to understand leaders follower relationship. Many times the success of an organization is attributed to the leader, but due credit is not given to the followers. Many followers related factors like their skills, knowledge, commitment, willingness to cooperate, team spirit, etc. make a person an effective leader. It is said that followers make a person a good leader by acceptance of leadership. Therefore, it is to be recognized that both leader and follower play a key role in leadership process. Okay? Now we will study about the importance. Importance of leadership. So leadership influence the behavior of the people and make them to positively contribute that energies for the benefit of organization. Okay? The main objective or important is to influence people and to use their energies for the welfare of people. Okay? See second point. It's on page 194. Okay? A leader maintains very good personal relation. Personal relation with followers. You heard about the great freedom struggler. You heard about the historians Rana Pratap, Rana Sanga, and Rani Lakshmi Bai of the Jhansi. They were great leaders. Why? They were able to influence the people and to use their energy for the welfare of people. At the same time, they maintain very personal relation. Means in so many cases you find that duplicate person is fighting. Maharana Pratap duplicate was fighting with their enemies, and he was coming or staying at the back. Why? So that the main leader may remain unaffected. Okay? Leaders play a key role in bringing changes. Okay? Bringing changes, whether in the environment, in the organization, or whether for the country. Key role in bringing changes for the organization. He persuades, clarifies, and inspires people to accept changes wholeheartedly. Thus, he overcomes the problem of resistance to change and introduces it with minimum discontentment. Clear? A good leader always handles conflict normally. A good leader will always handle all the conflict effectively and does not allow the adverse effect resulting from the conflict. A good leader always allows his followers to ventilate their feelings and disagreement, but persuade them by giving suitable clarification. Leaders provide training to their subordinate. A good leader always provide training to their subordinate so that they may flourish in their life. At the same time, they act in a very disciplined way in the organization. Okay? Now we are going to study the qualities of a good leader. So what are the qualities possessed by a good leader? Are they common traits or applicable to all good leaders? How many such qualities should a leader possess to be successful? One approach to the leadership emphasizes that person should possess certain qualities or traits to become a successful leader. It assumes that leaders can be distinguished from non-leaders by certain unique traits. The qualities of a good leader are identified some researchers as are shown in the box. So first is physical traits. Physical traits or physical features. Physical features like height, weight, health, appearance determine the physical personality of an individual. It is believed that good physical features attract people. Health and endurance help a leader to work hard, which inspire others to work with the same tempo. For example, Modi is working for a good leader always work for 17-18 hours because he has so many things in mind, so many work activities he wants to do. So definitely that person will have to work very hard in comparison to the normal person. Next is knowledge. A good leader should always have required knowledge and competence. Only such person can instruct subordinates correctly. Superficial knowledge is very dangerous. You should have deeper knowledge of the project or work which you have undertaken. If you have very deeper knowledge, then your subordinates or your follower will follow you. Otherwise, they will come to know that you are having a superficial knowledge only. Next is integrity. A good leader will always provide a high degree of the integrity and honesty. You should be a role model to others regarding the ethics and value. Otherwise, publics are not going to accept you. At the same time, you are ready to take initiative. A leader should have courage and initiative. He should not wait for opportunities to come to his way. Rather, he should grab the opportunity prior and use it to the advantage of the organization. Okay? Next, communication skill. A good leader will possess immense degree of communication skills. Otherwise, you can't flourish. The use of the word, use of the right word at the right place. For that purpose, you should have very good or a very high quality of communication skill. Because you have to make your ideas explain and clear to everyone. You should not be only a good speaker but a good listener, teacher, counselor and persuader. Motivational skill. You should have that much of knowledge so that you are able to inspire or motivate others also for your purpose. Okay? When first time the Hitler gave his hate speech, he said that even he is not having the courage or faith that anybody is going to follow him. But out of the crowd of 10,000, 10 people supported him. So he said, when 10 people are convinced with my idea, then I am ready to influence the remaining 9,990 also. So you should be a very good motivator. And at the same time, you should possess self-confidence also. You should possess a high degree of self-confidence amongst you. Only then you are able to bring or brought confidence in others also. Okay. Next, decisiveness. Decisiveness means you are ready to take the quick decisions. Okay. And you, at the same time, you should be decisive in your work. You should be firm and should not change opinion frequently. At the same time, a very high degree of social skill is expected from you. And you should be very polite and humble. However, we should remember that all good leaders may not necessarily possess all the qualities of a good leader. In fact, it is not possible for any individual to have all the qualities. But understanding about these qualities help the manager to acquire them through training and consciousness accord. Okay? Now we will study the leadership style. going to study the styles of leadership. So first is autocratic or authoritarian. Clear? An autocratic leader gives order and expects his subordinate to obey those orders. If a manager is following this style, then communication is only one way, or that is called monologue. It is not called a dialogue. Autocratic leader. The example was Hitler. He was an autocratic. If you follow this style, in this case only orders are given and nothing is discussed with anyone. The leader is dogmatic, that is does not change or wish to be contradicted. His following is based on the assumption that reward or punishment both can be given depending upon the result. This leadership style is effective in getting productivity in many situations, like in a factory where supervisor is responsible for production on time and has to ensure labor productivity. Quick decision making is also facilitated. Second is democratic or participative. What is democratic? A democratic leader will develop action plans and make decisions in consultation with his subordinate. In autocratic, he is only giving orders. But in democracy, what is considered? That everybody will be equally participative in making the decision. He will encourage them to participate in decision making. This kind of leadership is more common nowadays, and leaders are also recognized that people perform best if they have set their own objective. Next is free rein leader or laissez-faire. Free rein leader or laissez-faire. Such a leader does not believe in the use of power unless it is absolutely essential. The followers are given a high degree of independence to formulate their own objective and ways to achieve them. This group member works on their own task, resolving issues themselves. The manager is there only to support them and supply them the required information to complete the task assigned. At the same time, subordinate assume responsibility for the work to be performed. Depending upon the situation, leader may choose to exercise a combination of these styles when required. Even a laissez-faire leader should have certain rules to be followed while doing the work, and democratic leaders may have to take his own decision in emergency situation. So, student, this is the third point. Leadership is completed. In the next class, we will study about the communication. And this is the last element of directive. I hope this video will help you. Thank you.